Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Here's another special video for the new bros. This is how to use a Corax, a Caldari destroyer, in the T1 Exotic Abyss, so to be able to do it solo. So I'm going to just quickly go over the fit here. It's a very basic fit. This is alpha clone friendly. Everything here can be used by alpha clones, and you can also even upgrade it even more with an alpha clone, but I'm using kind of basic ones. For example, I'm using Tech 1 launchers here. If you get Tech 2 ones, you will be able to do a bit more damage than this. Also, you can still use Tech 2 launchers as an alpha clone, but often it takes a long time, especially for like new alpha clone players. And the reason why we're going to be doing Exotic Abysses is because the Exotic Abyss has reduced kinetic resistances, and the Corax, if we go here, show info, has a bonus to specifically kinetic missiles. So that's why we're going to be wanting to do this, to be able to do the site as quickly as possible, because we're going to have more damage, and also the enemy ships will have more, like, bigger resist holes. So let's start this, and make sure you're in a fleet. I'm already in a fleet right here, and then just wait a bit because there'll come this timer here, and then you just activate for fleet. Click it here. You also have to have 2 filaments. This is giving us equivalent of T2 loot, because this is double the amount as a T1 Abyss, because that's just how it works. When it comes to destroyers, you earn, if you're running a destroyer Abyss, then it's like 2 times the amount of the norm one, so we're earning 2 times the amount as a T1. And if you're using frigates, then you're using 3 filaments, so you'll earn 3 times the amount as a T1. And each level of Abyss tends to give more loot, so T2 tends to give twice the amount as T1, etc. So that is a way to just keep an eye on how much loot you've got. So we've got some Sancha people here, and we've got pretty good range on this, so I'll just start shooting these guys straight away. We're also going really fast because we've got this tachyon field here. Let's just move a bit to the side. Oh, that's a lot of damage. You see that? His shield's almost dead straight away. That's a really good thing about the exotic filaments, because in the gamma filaments, which I did in the Tower War before, the gamma filaments have bonuses to shields, so the enemy ships will also be more tanky. It will make us also more tanky, but it will also make the enemy ships more tanky. So that's something you have to think about. It'll take a bit slower, at least especially for shield-based ships. For example, the Sancha guys, they tend to have mostly shield-based weaponry. This ship also costs quite little. I think it's about 10 mil, so it's not that much. I mean, for very new players, that will seem like a lot. I remember when 10 mil was a lot, but you can earn a consistent income stream with this, so that's really good. You can see these guys are dying before they can even get in close. That's really good. And we're just going to go to the buy adaptive cache, because we have to get the loot, obviously. I'm on the test server, and the reason I do this on the test server is because I want to test these things out. It's just a lot more convenient for me, because I have to then remove my implants and everything if I'm doing on Tranquility. Also, I'd strongly recommend you guys to also check, if you're like a new player, Google test server EVE Online and sign up there and test these fits out before you go into Tranquility, because this will make sure that you're like familiar with it, so you don't make any mistake. Like, this is quite a forgiving fit, so you don't have to really think about much, but you know, it could be good, you know, to just familiarize yourself with the fit before you actually could do it on live server. So we've got quite a lot of loot here. Grab it and go to the next cloud. Let's see, or next room. Let's see what we get here. The Corax is not the fastest ship, 500 meters per second with an Afterburner. I think the Tower War is a bit faster, but that's the thing. With Minmatar ships, they tend to be known for being quite fast. The Caldari ships are pretty slow, as far as I recall. They have pretty good shields, so we're shield-based here. I could have maybe also gone with an active tank shield fit, but I decided to go with a buffer shield fit because I don't have to think so much about capacitor. So we've got some Damaviks here. The Damaviks, just think about these guys. You want to just start killing them as soon as possible, because as time goes on, they're going to ramp up in their damage, and you do not want the damage to ramp up. So the longer they're shooting you, the more damage they'll do. So just kill them as fast as possible, as fast as you possibly can, because you will see that there will sometimes be like Damaviks and some rogue drones, like other kind of like called, like, for example, Spark Lance or Ember Lance or something like that. Always go for the Damaviks, or like Vedmax, or like just Triglavian ships in general first, because they ramp up damage over time. Alright, this guy's dead. So you see here, now we've reduced the incoming damage, as well as one less ship that's going to spool up on us. You'll see here, after time goes on, then they'll do more damage, and actually one of them will probably be doing as much as like 2 of them in the beginning when they initially started attacking me. So it's really important just to kill the Triglavians straight away, because if they're ramping up damage, it can do a lot of damage. And if you are like an experienced player, or you keep doing Abyss in the future, you'll notice that in the higher tier filaments, actually the Vedmax have crazy amounts amounts of damage, and they'll spool up a lot of damage, so you really want to be careful there. Also, just if you're using buffer tank ships like I'm doing now when it comes to shields, just remember that don't panic too much that you've lost a bit of shield HP like this I've got now, because your shields, they recharge like over time, and they recharge the most when they're at 25%. So when you want to worry is actually when you've gone below like 25%. That's when you're going to want to worry. Otherwise, you're pretty safe. This guy is doing that very fast, very simple, just this pretty easy. Also, if you want to do this even faster, you could also buy a agency Pyrolancia drug. Just type Pyrolancia in the market and buy one of those. It'll make you do more damage, but they do cost quite a bit, so I don't think, especially in the T1 abysses like we're doing now, it's probably not worth it. But that's just in case you just want to get that little extra damage. You can get a few percentage points extra damage. Okay, let's go for this buy combinative cash right here. Open up this wreck. You can also try doing the T0 filaments. Actually, the new ones that come out, those are really easy, and there could also be they're even like these T1 feels really easy for me, but the T0 are even easier. So that is like, there's no way you can, unless you like intentionally try to die, you can't really die to the T0 ones in a properly fit ship like this one. You will guaranteed to, if you have got more than 2 brain cells, to be able to get through that. So you can also do that to actually just test out these ships, to be able to actually get yourself familiarized with how the mechanics work and what to think about. Okay, what is here in the next wave? Okay, so we've got a striking Drekavac. This Drekavac has a lot of HP, so it will take a little bit of time to get through this. Okay, let's just keep going, and also do not go directly towards him, because you don't want him to be able to hit you straight away. Okay, I think he's got like a 30-kilometer range, so depending on what range you have, like I've got 63 kilometers now, so if you have less than that, just try staying at this like 40 to 30-kilometer range, because you can see here he's yellow boxed you. That means he's targeting you. Okay, now he's shooting me, so he's got like 35-kilometer range. So if we pull out a little bit, then he'll not be able to shoot me, because Triglavian ships, they tend to not have such a big range. The disintegrators like turn off if they have got to, if you go out of their range. So you just remember that. Okay, let's see if we can get out of his range. You can see here he's doing quite a bit of damage, but as soon as we pull out of his range, then he'll stop doing damage to me. He'll yellow box us. So that's what you want to do here. I know that you can see, yeah, he's yellow boxed us now, so that means he's not shooting at us, or he's not able to shoot at us because his disintegrators are not. So you could actually just stop here, or just keep at range, current 40 like that. Orbit at 500, because that is also something you can do. You could orbit him, then he won't be able to track you, I think. Especially since you've got the Afterburner. The Afterburner makes you have a small signature radius, so they're not going to be able to, you're going to be very tiny, so it's hard for him to hit you. We're doing quite a bit of damage, actually, 800 damage. That's pretty good. You see here, this is what I'm talking about. He's very tanky, so you want to think about this when you're going for the Drekavacs. Just be careful for the Drekavacs, because they're very tanky. And just you have to remember that you have to this is like a thing for the long run. You can see here, actually, our shields are getting down pretty quickly, so it doesn't seem like orbiting at 500 is going to be too good. So really, if you are doing this, focus on getting to the range, the optimal range, like out of the Drekavac's optimal range. Keep going forward. He's soon dead. You see he's got very, very little structure, so just a few volleys and he's dead. You also, when you're getting closer to the Drekavac, don't approach him directly. Keep going in like an arc. Oh, we're taking a bit of armor damage now. That's not so good. So definitely, I do probably will not want to go and orbit at 500, because you're probably going to die to that. I didn't expect this, actually, but we survived. I survived. So yeah. So let's say you are doing this, make sure that your light missile range is over 40 or 40 or more, because the thing is, if you have a range of missiles that is lower than that, then you're going to have to get close like this, and you see here that it didn't turn out that well. Another wave that you have to also keep at range like this is called the Sanchez Nation. So we were against the Sanchez Nation before. There are a few frigates, those black kind of ships. They're called Sanchez Nation ships. It doesn't actually say here, but they have sometimes a cruiser spawn, and the cruiser spawn, the important thing to understand about the cruiser spawn is that they have very good tracking, so it's very hard to how do you say, dodge their shots. So if you're in their range, similar to how the Drekavac was here, they'll be hitting you, and they'll do quite a bit of damage the same way the Drekavac has. But they have not such a big range, so they have about 30-kilometer range. So if you stay out of the 30-kilometer range, you will be good. So that's just an important thing that I actually forgot to think about. I was not really considering these waves. I haven't tested with these waves before, but make sure that you've got like a 30+ kilometer range, preferably 40. Shouldn't be too hard. I've got 63 kilometers here, so just make sure you've got that before you start using this in the Abyss. Anyway, Corax done for T1 Exotic Abyss. Hope you guys enjoyed. I was a bit stressful at the end, but it turned out really great anyways. If you guys enjoyed this video, or if you learned something new, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.